Hey, everybody. We're here today talking with Frank Leist. He's going to tell us a little bit about what he's been doing for the past couple months. Me and Frank used to have a podcast together. We had to put that on the back burner for a little bit so he could really develop his business and develop his program that he's got coming out really soon, and that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. So, Frank, thanks for being here with me.
What's up, man? How you been, Bobby?
I've been good, brother. It's been good. I'm sorry I haven't seen you in a little while. Everything's hectic. Life
happens. I mean, we talk all the time.
We do.
Just don't get to hang out as often.
The hang time has had to cut a little bit, yeah. So it's good for you to be here, man. Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
so tell us a little bit about what's been holding you busy for the past couple monmonths.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, I'm sure you know because you've helped build a lot of it.
I know a little bit. Yeah, we're going to tell everybody else.
We built, a cornhole bag company together. And, it's focused on the unboxing experience of the customer.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Absolutely.
And customer experience. So that's what we've built it focused on.
And we've gotten some good reviews so far.
And also I've been developing a program.
Yeah, and it's you showed it to me a little bit earlier today for the first time, really, after you'd ironed it out really, really well, and that's what I'm excited about. That's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. So it's called C.L.I.P, and why don't you tell us what that means and why you created it?
Yeah, so C.L.I.P is an acronym for Cornhole Leadership Integrity Program, and what it is it's a cornhole league with media pathways integrated into it.
Excellent. So let me see here. What roles, would like a student have in something like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So this is more than cornhole. I love cornhole to death.
Yeah.
Cornhole is a very co-ed sport. And to me, I picked up cornhole when I aged out for all the other sports, Unfortunately, baseball and basketball and football have a early age out process.
Cornhole's for any age, just about, it seems like.
Yeah, cornhole is for any age, and you could go pro at any age. It's all about your dedication to get better at the game and to keep showing up and commitment.
Yeah.
So it's a very co-ed sport. So I love cornhole. It's growing. It's popular. And it but I really wanted to figure out a way to make it valuable for students. And I think that's what we've done here.
Okay. That sounds like it. Everything I read into it, it seems very student integrated. Seems like within a few years of the program beginning, it's going to be completely and totally student driven.
Yeah. And so to answer your questions, the kind of roles that students have is anywhere from, actually being a cornhole player to, maybe being a part of the media aspect, right? And to kind of dive into that is we created a cornhole league where not only students are athletes, but students are behind the scenes capturing the moment, capturing athletes throwing bags, capturing the gameplay, setting up, running the events, doing journalism, running the broadcasting equipment. That's some of the most important part. That's what helps these events, get light on them.
Right. Right.
And so it's a lot of pathways in this, honestly, from just event management to broadcasting to journalism, where you could, be a cornhole player.
And that's super exciting to me, and I think would be really exciting to most organizations or schools when they hear about it, is the integration of the students into what's actually going on to make it work. You don't get that from any really other extracurricular sport or activity that I can think of, honestly, unless you have a media program in your school. You might get that kind of sense, but I feel like this offers more than that even.
And that's great that you brought up that point right there, because schools do have media programs, but typically what we see is they're underutilized sometimes because they don't really have anything to shoot content around.
Right.
It's
or to instruction without the actual means to do with it. I think
there's nothing to make content about. There's nothing to, so that it's kind of limbo.
And this is fully content being provided the whole time
by gameplay.
And you're learning how to use all this equipment. You're getting a pathway. So tell us a little bit about how this actually builds skills for students.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So athletes, it builds skills because it's team based, right? So it's 2 people per team. And schools have multiple teams. So on just the 2-person level, it's decision making, it's team building. It's taking those big moments and figuring out, okay, how do I throw this bag and make it do what I need to do?
Right.
Making the right decision. Yeah. Performing under pressure.
There's a lot of plotting that goes into cornhole.
It takes a lot. It's going to create leadership. It's going to create integrity.
Right.
Within the athletes, but also it creates experience behind the scenes, and that's really the part that I'm really excited about. Yeah. I love cornhole, but the media aspect, I think, provides the best potential in this program.
Yeah.
Because it provides hands-on experience to students at an early age who are excited and want to go into journalism or learn how to work the video camera or be the sound guy or even run the events, because this doesn't work without everything working together.
Coordination specialist.
And so you got to have those people. And so how do we make sure that cornhole is everlasting, and to make sure that we have a pipeline that's setting people up for success through the sport? And that's by providing them hands-on experience, because not only kids may grow up in high school or maybe go to college and do broadcasting or work the camera or something for cornhole, but they might move on in their professional career to maybe be the weatherman, or maybe they move on to another sport.
Yeah.
So this program is really designed about giving hands-on experience to everybody and setting them up for future pathways and career pathways, not only through college, but when they beyond college.
Yeah. And like I said, that's one of the things I'm super excited about it, of the whole aspect of it too, is just the draw of the student body. I would feel like if I had something like that when I was, in high school, I would have been into it in a heartbeat. And I mean, cornhole's something that it seems very easy to pick up on, and it is, but it definitely does take some skill and some learning to get really good at it. And I don't think a lot of people realize that when you first start playing. But even if you're not into something like that, you've got that entire media aspect, you've got that entire behind the scenes coordination, planning, scheduling aspect. That's the type of specializations that aren't interesting to everybody, but are hugely interesting to some. And I think that draws a lot of people into something like that.
Yeah, and it's really going to be the student-led aspect. The students' involvement is real big in that, and when they see the content they shot or edited or were a part of, or maybe they threw the cornhole bag that made the clip really great.
Yeah. Yeah, you made that.
You made that clip. You know what I'm saying? From the athlete to the person behind the scene, when it goes on the TV in the school, as you're walking down the hallway and everybody is seeing that, they know you're the one behind the camera, or you're the journalist that asked the great question, or you're the athlete that threw that bag. So it's going to create school pride, and students are really going to take pride in what they create, which is what's going to make this program great.
Exactly. I can't agree with you more. So, what makes C.L.I.P something that is scalable and easy to adopt, even like a rural or a low resource kind of school?
Oh, that's a tough question. And that's something that we've had to take a lot of time to really figure out, how are we going to make this work? How are we going to not only make this scalable for maybe a school district in our area, but, looking forward, how do we make this
all-inclusive,
make it scalable on a national level, right? So you got some school districts that do better. They have more funding and whatnot. And you have school districts that maybe don't. But we took this aspect out of it, because we're not asking school districts for money. We're doing this strictly through local partnerships and sponsorships with companies, either local or nationwide, as well as, fortunately, I'm a part of a business club, thankfully. And I do have backing investors that are backing the program as well, in order to incorporate this into schools. Slowly, school district by school district.
But basically, you've taken the cost and the overhead completely off of the school's shoulders. You're covering that.
Yeah, we're covering it. And we're taking care of all of it. The only thing we're not doing is transporting students. That's completely up to the schools, how they get students from competition to competition, and to and from practices. But everything else, from the equipment to teaching kids how to run the event, we're covering it through sponsorships and partnerships and private investments.
That's awesome, man. That's just so great. Tell me, can C.L.I.P possibly count for like a class credit? Or can it be integrated into existing curriculum somehow?
Man, you got a list of great questions here.
I mean, it's stuff. It's not that big of a list because so much of it is answered throughout all of your presentation. Yeah.
So, can C.L.I.P count as a curriculum? We've worked on this and we've thought long and hard about it. And this is kind of one of the problems we've run into when creating the entire program, and you can see that because some things we left open-ended. Like if you look at the season format, it can be adjusted per school district. If school districts want to run 8-week seasons and other school districts want to run 10-week seasons, they could do that. The playoff as well, so we've structured it in a way to allow school districts to be what they need. And then we also included that on the curriculum side, as you're asking. It's like, can this be evolved in curriculum? And the answer is yes. If schools decide that they want to take the media aspect where kids are working the cameras, kids are doing event logistics, and kids are doing the editing and the social media content, if they want to make that a part of their curriculum and make it count towards their graduation points, then sure, they could do that.
So in other words, that's going to be on the school division itself.
There's no pressure at all. It's just up to the school. If they want to do it, that's fine. If not, then that's fine. We're still going to teach the kids this, and as the program develops,
it should be, yeah.
As the program develops, we're going to start lining it with scholarships, not only for athletes, because I don't know if you know, cornhole scholarships are becoming more popular.
I've heard
they might not cover full rides.
It's still a help.
Anything helps, right?
Helps
when you're talking about college. So we're going to continue to work on that and make sure that scholarships are available not only for cornhole athletes, but people who do the media personnel, as I would call them.
As you would call them. Excellent. Yeah. So like, what kind of responses have you received so far from schools or organizations?
Thankfully, it's been great support.
It's been positive. Yeah. Excellent.
It almost feels like this was the missing piece, right? Like nobody's really said that yet. Nobody's said it yet, but when you talk in the schools, they get excited about it because it's like, this is connecting the dots between media pathways and sports, and it's completely student ran by year 4 to 5.
Right. I feel like anybody who really reads into your program is going to totally feel the same way. The integration of the student aspect to actually running everything seems so hands-on, so educational, so instructional that like I don't see how there's any negative from it,
Yeah, and the great thing is the approach we've had from it, right?
Right.
And that's what's really helped shape this program is we've from the early stages of creating this program, we've reached out to school districts, we've reached out to superintendents, principals, we've reached out to athletic directors, we've reached out to state you name it, we've reached out to them to get their input on this program.
Wow.
In order to shape it, because we want it to accommodate everybody. You know what I'm saying? We and when you're talking about schools, that's very important.
Right.
You making sure you accommodate everybody and you're following all the structures and all the rules and all this stuff. So you got to reach out to people to get different opinions and can this work in your area? Can this work in that area? What's the differences? How can we, make it all work together?
Make it work, right?
You know what I mean? So, I've been very thankful on the feedback that I've gotten because reaching out to people, you never really know the response you're going to get.
You really don't,
Yeah. And just to hear people just to give back, just to give feedback on it, this is great, but this is what concerns me. This is great, and this is and just be able to go in there and change it and make those updates are super awesome. So overall we've seen great support, and as this program keeps getting defined, refined, updated, whatever as this program develops, I guess would be the best way to say it.
I think so. Yeah.
The excitement keeps growing the more we see it develop, and we're having meetings with school districts every week at this point about this program.
That's awesome.
And implementing it into different districts. So
that's great, but it's also kind of slightly scary in the way I look at things. Like, you've kind of talked to so many people about this already, and in big organizations and stuff, from the sound of it, like, are you protected legally? Is this like copywritten or whatever?
Yeah. So C.L.I.P, Cornhole Leadership Integrity Program, is the DBA of Rogue Apes.
Gotcha.
It's Rogue Apes LLC.
Gotcha.
That was one of the suggestions that we received, and it was very good feedback. It was like, Rogue Apes isn't very school friendly or facing. I recommend changing the name, and it was awesome feedback.
It's a hardcore name for a hardcore cornhole bag. You know what I mean?
It is,
but it is kind of rough around the edges if you're talking about a school program. Yeah,
it is, and so when we received that feedback, we really took our time and took a step back and really thought about, like, what's a name that's really going to include cornhole and the media aspect, and it's C.L.I.P.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's C.L.I.P. So, I'm very thankful for that feedback. I'm thankful for everybody's feedback. Everybody, from the business club that I'm involved in, even your feedback, and all the state we've reached out to over 20 state organizations. And a lot of them have had a great feedback and telling us, like, adjust this a little bit, and this is what it takes to get into our school, into our state, and be a station sport. And so, we're slowly knocking down barriers, and we're getting there.
It doesn't even sound slow to me. It sounds like you're already halfway across the country talking to people. If you've missed anybody at this point and nobody's heard about this so far, like, how can they get involved in this just straight from their end without waiting for you to get in touch with them?
Yeah, so that's a great question. You could go to playclip.org.
Okay.
And just click on Cornhole Leadership Integrity Program. It'll take you to a page. You could read, the overview about the program. And if you're interested, if you're involved in the school districts in any way, if you're a superintendent, if you're a principal, if you're a part of one of these state organizations, these state high school sports organizations,
athletics coordinator,
if you're
PE teacher, coach,
anybody, feel free to go out and contact. You go to that page, you ask, you hit the request more button, and fill out the contact sheet, and we'll be in contact with you. And it doesn't even have to be about implementing the program. We're
any questions, anything like any
questions,
requests, any recommendations, anything, any kind of contact.
We're open to any of it.
That's awesome. So we're going to have that link in the descriptions for anybody who's interested. Just click on it; it'll take you right where you need to go.
Yeah, man. I appreciate your time. It's been good catching up with you.
It's been great, man.
I appreciate your feedback, because it's been hard work.
Absolutely, and it's so easy to tell that just by looking into that. We're gonna go over it a lot more extensively, just you and me off camera, because all I was able to do was really cruise through it. But what I've been able to gather from it, and with the questions that you've answered for me, man, I'm just even more like I want to know everything about it now. So I feel like schools and organizations are gonna think the same thing once they get wind of all this, and I can't wait for it to happen.
Yeah, man. So we're definitely in contact with a lot of people, and I got a couple more meetings lined up this week with local school districts to go over the program and seeing how we can implement it the best way in their district.
Awesome.
And I'm very excited about what we can do with it, and building the next generation of leaders, through cornhole.
That's exactly right. I mean, maybe not a phrase you would have thought about, but I mean, it's so well put together. That's exactly what it is. So thank you so much for coming here and talking to us about that stuff, man. Like I said, I think it's a fantastic opportunity, and I think any organization should want to be a part of it. So
yeah, man. Well, I greatly appreciate your feedback, and I appreciate your time. And we'll definitely get up and do one of these again, and
we're gonna have
to go through the program together.
Yeah, when things develop a little more, we will definitely catch back up and keep up to date.
Appreciate your time, man. Take care.
You as well, sir.